Starting a YouTube channel was the smartest decision I ever made. It helped me to go from feeling lost to building a business and earning my first income online. But before March 2023, I was stuck in a cycle of procrastination, gaming, endlessly scrolling on social media and watching football non-stop. I wanted more from life, but I just didn't know where to start. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you're thinking about posting your first YouTube video, in this video I'll share the practical steps that help me to succeed, mindset strategies to keep you going when things get tough, and how to produce videos faster than 99% of beginner YouTubers so that you can win on YouTube this year. Now, your first piece of advice is don't overthink it, just start. Most people don't start a YouTube channel because they feel underqualified, and I get it, I've been there. In fact, on day 2 of my YouTube journey, March the 7th, 2023, I wrote in my journal saying that I don't feel like I should be uploading this sort of content because I don't feel qualified enough. But this mindset stops countless creators before they even hit record, because while you're sat there hesitating, someone else less qualified and less experienced is diving in and figuring it out as they go along. They're learning, improving and winning while you're stuck in self-doubt. Now, eventually I realised that if I keep going, I'll feel better the more that I do it, because confidence doesn't come first on YouTube, especially if you're an introvert like me. It comes by doing, it comes through action. But the learn, apply, share method is one of the best ways to overcome imposter syndrome. Learn something valuable, whether it's a skill or an idea or a solution to a problem, apply it to your life and share it through a YouTube video. That way you won't feel like an imposter because you've actually learned something and applied it to your life. The thing is, you don't need to be an expert, you just need to be at least 2 steps ahead of your viewer or even an older version of yourself. But the biggest hurdle on YouTube is perfectionism. You think I'll start when my video is perfect, but the reality is that day never comes. Your first video will never be perfect, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. When I started on YouTube, I was both anxious and nervous. I was that anxious that at 4 AM in the morning, without much sleep that night, I told myself, no excuses, I'm filming today. Now, that first video was a simple 20-second clip introducing myself. It definitely wasn't polished, but it set everything in motion. So here's your action plan. Number 1, film and upload your first video, no matter how simple it is. Number 2, stop obsessing over stats, because at the minute you're not going to know how to improve your video based on the stats that you're seeing. And number 3, celebrate the milestone of your first video, because it's proof that you've started. Seriously, go ahead and buy yourself a treat. Your first video isn't about being perfect, it's about beginning. But there will come a time, if it hasn't already, where you're staring at a blank screen and you're struggling to come up with an idea for your next video, which could lead to not posting a video at all, which is why one of the biggest struggles for creators is consistency. But the problem is, if you're struggling to come up with an idea for one video, how are you going to come up with ideas for videos for the rest of the year? So you need a system for generating video ideas. Well, enter the A to B system. Think of A as where your audience starts and B as their goal. Between those points are dozens, even hundreds of small steps, each a potential video idea. Now, this is one that I created for my channel, and it covers every single step that a creator needs to go through in order to get to their dream destination. And it gives me plenty of video ideas, but the thing is, it's still a work in progress, so there's still plenty more ideas to get from it. So here are some steps to find video ideas. Number 1, open up an incognito tab and search YouTube like your audience would and study recommended videos. Number 2, look at your competitors' top videos and use those for ideas. And number 3, reflect on your journey. What challenges did you face that your audience might share? So the key here is this: don't overthink it. Just keep providing value to your ideal viewer and the ideas will come. In fact, you can find an avatar spreadsheet in the resource hub linked down below. Now, the better you know your avatar, your ideal viewer, the more views you'll get on your content, because viewers will feel like you're talking directly to them. But what if you could cut down your video creation process by at least 80% while still making better videos? Now, I know video production can feel overwhelming. Hours spent scripting, writing, filming, editing can leave you burnt out, especially if your video doesn't perform as well as you'd hoped. And it's tempting to chase the high production style of big creators like Alex Hormozy, but even he started with simple setups. The truth? Well, success doesn't come from perfection, it comes from consistency. So avoid Hollywood level edits because viewers care more about connection than they do about a fancy edit. Authentic talking head videos can perform just as well as Hollywood level videos. So just keep your editing simple, especially if you've got a slow computer. Secondly, focus more on creating highly intriguing packaging, which is your title and thumbnail, more than you do focusing on highly produced videos. If you can't get people to click, then what's the point in making the video in the first place? So for your thumbnail, use tools like Bing's image generator or Canva. For example, for this video I typed a man sitting at a desk with authentic as a keyword, and Bing gave me a great starting point. Then I just sketched out the concept before finalising it. And for your title, brainstorm at least 10 to 20 ideas, then refine them to the ones that you think work best. I often use ChatGPT to generate variations of my title ideas, and then I just narrow them down to 5. Finally, I ask my audience, my subscribers, you guys, but I ask my audience which title they would click on most, and then I go ahead and use that title. I think I'd be silly not to. Packaging doesn't have to take days, but getting it right can make or break your video's performance. In fact, my third tip is to embrace AI. I think creators that don't embrace AI into their content workflow are the ones that are going to fall behind, because bigger creators are using AI and they're able to produce higher quality content faster. So if you use AI strategically, for example if you use it in your scripting, you can draft your talking points and let ChatGPT help organise them into a structure and turn it into a script that's written for retention. Or you could use AI for your thumbnails and titles. Like I mentioned earlier, you can use Bing's image generator for your thumbnail ideas, and you can use ChatGPT for your title ideas. Using AI in your content workflow is probably one of the smartest things you can do, because you can use it to speed up your design and your copywriting. But there are some major pitfalls when it comes to using AI that you need to be aware of. It's important to train tools like ChatGPT how to write in your tone of voice, and you can do this by pasting in examples of your writing. Maybe you drop in text messages or you drop in scripts that you might have written in the past. Then you ask ChatGPT to analyse it and say, write how I would talk from now on. But always make sure that you read drafts out loud to make sure that what's written sounds like how you would normally talk. Because if it doesn't sound authentic to you, then your script can sound robotic, and nobody wants that. So a simplified workflow leads to consistent uploads, and consistency builds trust with your audience. But success on YouTube isn't about going viral, it's about resilience. Because the mindset you choose today will determine how far you actually go. So let's talk about some ways that will keep you in the game for the long haul. Now, underperforming videos are inevitable. Early on, I remember celebrating my first 17 views, and honestly, I felt like I was on top of the world. But for every win, there were countless flops, leaving me questioning whether this was actually worth my time. But the thing I learned was to just focus on creating the content that my audience needs, rather than focusing on the results of my videos. But a big one most beginner creators struggle with is the fear of being judged for actually starting a YouTube channel. But you have to realise that most people are too busy with their own lives to judge you. Just focus on serving your audience and the fear will fade, and genuinely your confidence will rise. Honestly, I was the most introverted person, but YouTube helped to change that. The next thing is to make sure you celebrate every single win, even if it's small. For example, your first video, celebrate it. Your first non-family or friend subscriber, celebrate that too. But the reason this matters is bigger than just making yourself feel good, because when you celebrate wins, no matter how big or small, your brain associates that hard work that you put in to get those wins with positive rewards. And over time, this develops a natural productive mindset, one where you show up and create even when you don't feel like it. Now, these small wins matter because they're proof that you're moving forward. The thing is, all of these tips can help to transform your YouTube journey, but they will only transform your YouTube journey if you know how to take action. Well, in this video right here, I share the exact strategy that I'd use if I had to launch a YouTube channel from scratch. Everything from finding a niche and audience to making videos that attract subscribers fast. Honestly, this is the one shortcut that I wish I had when I first started. You've been waiting for this one.